Hey Kevin, it's Brad. So I just wanted to let you know that we're still working on the beer wall. The point of sale system itself is done, and the beer wall I'm going to roll out today as we speak. So I wanted to show you a couple of fun things that we have now. We've got a screensaver that we run on the entire operation. We can make it as transparent as we want so that you can see the beers much easier as well, obviously. So we'll change that however we like. I'm tuning everything in on that. It'll change from like this scene if we want to other scenes. We've got a Pac-Man that runs down the screen chasing some beers. He eats the cookie and then returns and eats the beers that were chasing him. I have a ticker that shows all the products, like a stock ticker, if you will, that shows all the products that we have on the beer wall. So that runs down. And then we have another one that allows us to type in anything we want. So if somebody's having a birthday or a party or we have an event, we can show those. So there's the ticker that runs, and it shows all the beers on all the taps. Same thing, right now I have it showing no beers behind, but it could display that. It's just an opacity setting. So when we walk up to the actual screen now, what'll happen, and everything is configurable here. So what I mean by that is, I can tell this when I tap this, these three screens are now going to stop having the screensaver, but yet the rest of the beer wall will still run. I can make it just this screen. I can make it 4 screens to the left and the right, or I can turn everything off and just have the scroll or the Pac-Man stop altogether. You'll see as I tap, it's doing the pour. I'm not going to pour now because my hands are full, but I would do the pour and everything will start filling up. It'll show me the amount and so on. And I have this on both sides. But as well, we can configure it so only one side can be used at a time. And that's for anybody that has a PO switch that isn't giving enough power, right? If both are pouring at the same time, it may do a brownout. So if a particular venue doesn't want that happening, then we can change that. Here, we see that we have the enjoy going on as we tap. And as I mentioned before, we can change the LCDs to whatever we want down here. We can do it in Spanish and English based upon the card that you were given. So we can say if this customer was a Spanish speaker, we'll speak in Spanish, so to speak. We'll write in Spanish here. We can also do that at the beer wall. So if I tap here, for us, the majority of our drinkers are going to be Spanish speakers, but we could have all this changed to English automatically, and that's kind of neat. Let me show you the actual interaction of the screen. So here is where we enter either our tarjeta or our card. We can tap and get in, or we can enter a code. But as well, there's some hidden menus here just to do things that a manager doesn't need to. So if I tap on this 8 times, I'm going to have all different kinds of things to block the pantalla. Sorry, I'm speaking in Spanglish. We will lock the screen so we can clean it. We can block the kiosk itself. We can reinitiate the app. We can exit the app, so on and so forth. Change the server that we're talking to. So all that's done through a hidden menu. But then from here, there's our Pac-Man running. I'll just catch that because it's kind of fun. So he goes down. He's going to eat them. And then it starts again. I haven't seen any interactive screens like this personally, but we're going to do a lot more. We're going to do some Christmas themes, Halloween themes, 4th of July, all that fun stuff. Here we've got our settings where we can weigh the kegs. We can show how much is left in the keg. This will be activated today. From here we can run our diagnostics. I already showed you this before, but we can power off the actual board here, which wasn't a possibility before. Power on the board from here so that if we have an issue. This is the activity, and this is something that I was really struggling with, and this is something I really like. From here, we have the ability to void or to edit a pour, because the system's not perfect, and if someone complains they had too much foam, which isn't your problem, we can edit right here. So we would tap this and then tap the card of the user as well as my card as the manager, and then I can void whatever I want to do, and I really, really like this feature. Status, from here I can say, you know what, we're out of beer, so let's just do that. And when I exit, it's going to say out of beer, right? Now at the same time, if I try to tap, it's going to tell me, wait a minute, it was out of beer, choose another. Well, that one's out of beer as well, so obviously choose another. So that's quite handy. I think that's about it on the actual system here. We have all of this integrated into our point of sale system. There is one more feature that I'm playing with, and this is the ability to sell a card right at the wall. So we'll be able to program a card right here and there, as opposed to going to an actual point of sale terminal. I haven't finished that one off yet. It's just in the list of things to do, but that's kind of an interesting option that I'm going to look at doing. I'll show you the point of sale at some point, but for you guys it's not as important. I will say this, and it is my point of sale system, but it is better than any point of sale system I've ever used. I have put I've got about 900 hours into this personally, maybe a little bit more, probably about 1,000 hours right now. Yeah, about 1,000 hours, because we're almost going on month 3. So it is very nice. It is user-friendly, touch-friendly, and all of the things that I have complained about that I didn't have in the past with my point of sales. But I'll show you that at some point, because you will have some customers who will want that piece of the puzzle. But the actual beer wall itself, we're going to make live today, and we're going to start using it. Oh, and I will mention something that our current system doesn't have, just as a random mention. In the current system, it's either pre-sales, prepaid or postpaid. But what we don't have with the postpaid is a postpaid minimum. And so what we're doing is we're creating, or at least if it is, I can't find it in that system, but we're doing a postpaid, but there is a minimum. So we can do, $10, $15 minimum, but you pay after the fact. And that was something we wanted, because in our world, we don't really do prepaid anything in Guatemala. It's pretty much postpaid. That's not the culture. And as well, it makes it difficult, because then it doesn't become part of one check if they're also buying, let's say, a burger or something else. So that makes it nice.